The story of Owl and Wisdom. You may sometimes be unhappy with your life, believing that others live better lives filled with happiness and satisfaction. Maybe after you hear this story, that misconception will change. One day, there was an owl that was completely dissatisfied with her life. She compared herself a lot with other birds, and she focused a lot on their flaws. One day, while she was on a tree, she felt very sad, so she was moved to tears. Under that tree was an elder with great wisdom and intelligence. When he heard the crying, he asked her why. The Wiseman said, "What's up, my friend?" The owl replied, "I'm tired of my life, sir. I feel hopeless and frustrated, especially when I see other birds. Everyone complains about me. They think I'm bringing jinx and evil. If this is my life, maybe death is better." When the sheikh heard this, I pity that poor owl very much. Then he told her, we should be content with our lives as they are, and we shouldn't make such comparisons. The lives of others are not as beautiful as you think, but the owl was. She was frustrated and in pain, unable to stop crying. Sheikh Shafaka increased, but was determined to help her. He decided to use another method, then said, "Don't worry, my friend. I have a wondrous ability that I can turn you into any bird you want." The owl was impressed by this show, but her heart was filled with hope, and then she said, I want to be. The sheikh smiled and said, "Well, that's easy, but I want you to first go to the goose. Then ask her how happy she is, and I'll wait for you to come back here." The sheikh smiled and said, "Well, that's easy, but I want you to first go to the goose. Then ask her how happy she is, and I'll wait for you to come back here." The sheikh smiled and said, "Well, that's easy, but I want you to first go to the goose. Then ask her how happy she is, and I'll wait for you to come back here." The owl flew over the sky looking for a goose until she saw one swimming in a nearby lake. She came up and said, "How beautiful you are, goose. Your feathers are as white as milk. You look like they inspire happiness and peace. You must be the happiest bird in the world." But the goose responded with great sadness, "I made a mistake, my friend. I'm not happy. Notice around you, the world is full of beautiful colors, and I don't have any. I think the parrot is the happiest bird." After hearing this, the owl shaved again in search of the parrot, eager to meet and talk to him. When she finally found him at the zoo, she said, "How beautiful you are, parrot. You're full of bright colors. You must be the happiest bird for a world." But the parrot's response showed signs of sadness. "No, my friend, you're wrong. I'm not really happy." The owl was very impressed by the parrot's words. Then she said, "If you're not happy, who's the happiest bird?" The parrot replied, "I thought about it very carefully, then looked around in this garden, and I noticed that all the birds were trapped with me except one bird. So if there's a bird that people don't try to catch and put in a cage like us, it's undoubtedly the happiest bird." In fact, the owl was very impressed by the parrot's words. Then she said, "If you're not happy, who's the happiest bird?" After those words, the owl wished to remain in shape, fly high in the sky freely, and become from place to place without fear. After those words, the owl wished to remain in shape, fly high in the sky freely, and become from place to place without fear. After those words, the owl wished to remain in shape, fly high in the sky freely, and become from place to place without fear. The owl returned to the sheikh and said, "Sir, I want to stay an owl. You don't have to turn me into any other bird." Finally, the sheikh smiled and said, You made the most appropriate decision. If we look at life, this problem is very common among people, but wishing for what others have and making such comparisons can have a negative impact on us for what it brings. I'm very sad, hopeless, and frustrated, so we should focus only on ourselves and strive to develop and move forward at a steady pace. We should learn to be convinced and satisfied with what God has written for us. Praise and thank Him for the blessings we have been blessed with. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel for more so we can continue